start off by taking just fresh, great piece of salmon like this. What I'm going to do here is just take my knife and start cutting it in rectangular bits evenly, and what you want to end up with is a rectangle with a square at the end, but you can't get that out of this, otherwise it's going to be too fat. So I'm just going to cut it first into rectangle pieces and then cut those again. That'll make sense in a bit. Now I'm going to cut these rectangles into square rectangles, so just so the end of this piece of salmon is a square. There we go. Now I'm just going to bring over a beautiful piece of sushi grade tuna. Look at this marvelous piece right here. Okay. I'm going to cut this in the same way as the salmon before, and they have to be exactly the same dimensions and size, otherwise this will just not work. And take your time to really cut these smoothly in a single swooping motion like this. You don't want to saw through it, you want to have very crisp, clean cuts, because if they're not clean it's going to affect the way the glue acts to fuse these together. So just take your time and create them exactly perfect. God, look at that tuna, that's amazing. Okay, so again I'm just going to cut these rectangles into square rectangles. And I'm talking about the end piece of the rectangle when I talk about the square part. Here I've got 4 pieces of tuna and 4 pieces of salmon, and this is what I call Activa RM. I ordered this online and it comes from America and they ship worldwide. If you guys want more information about it, check out the link on the top left corner of the screen right now. Basically it's called Transglutaminase, or meat glue is the slang word for it. You're just going to need a little bit of it, just add about 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons into a bowl, and you're just going to want to set this aside. I'm just going to pour a spoon or 2 into a sieve, and this will make it easier to get a nice even layer across the fish later. Here we go. You're going to need a piece of cling film. Just place it on the cutting board like this, and then you're going to start to layer the salmon and tuna one after the other. Just the 4 pieces, 2 of each. And you want to lay them right next to each other, just like this. Okay. Once you've layered them, then you take your Activa RM and you want to sprinkle over a very, very, very thin layer of the glue. You don't want to put any more glue on than you need. So just tap your sieve on the side and it should let out a very small amount every time. And just cover it nice and evenly, only one side of the fish. And then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them over. Okay. There we go. And what I'm doing here is I'm thinking about where the glue is, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't use any more glue than necessary. And you want to have all the inner parts of the brick of fish that are in contact with other fish to have glue on them, and nothing else. So here I'm just going to pour some more onto it. You want to have a very thin, evenly distributed amount of the Activa RM over it. And now I'm just going to prep my second batch of fish, which goes on top of that. So here again, a very soft dusting of it over it, making sure to not add more than I need. Okay. Perfect. Now you're going to want to place these on top of your other fish pieces, making sure that there's only the glue on the inside, so face the pieces of fish in a way that they only have glue on the inside. Okay, there we go. And once you've got your brick assembled like this, you just wrap it in cling film, and you want to tighten it to make sure that all the pieces of fish are in contact with all the other pieces of fish. And then just roll it. Don't press too hard at this stage, it's completely not necessary. And then just cut off the sides so that when you put it into the vacuum bag, the air can be sucked out from in between the pieces of fish. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this fish brick and we're going to put it inside a vacuum bag. And what it's going to do is it's going to suck out all the air from inside the brick of fish, and then the pressure from the outer atmosphere is actually going to squish together the fish, so that all the surfaces with glue on them are in complete, full contact with fish, so that they can glue properly. You just basically put this inside the fridge for 4 to 24 hours, no more than 24 hours and no less than 4 hours. Okay, so this is the fish after it's been thawed from the freezing process, and now I'm just going to take it out of the wrapping. Once you've done that, then you want to take your knife and just slice it into sashimi slices, 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter thick slices. And you do this with an extremely sharp knife, and you start at the heel of the knife and drag it all the way through in one swooping motion to the tip of the blade. And then you just repeat the process over and over and over again. Now, if you don't have a knife that's sharp enough, then you can check out my store, which is in the link below in the description, or the link I offered before. Okay, so I'm going to slice the entire brick, since I've got an entire brick of it, so I'm just going to keep going. I don't actually need the entire thing, maybe about half is all I need really. Okay, and there we go. Now you can see this glue has really worked marvelous. It's really quite strong, and it's just like a normal piece of fish. You wouldn't know that it's being glued together, except for that you can see it.